So I just wanted to take you back. For those that don't know me, my name is Tanya Davies, and I've been living in Australia for the last 15 years. And in Australia, I joined the police force, and I was with them for the last 10 years. And it has, you know, like any job, it has its ups and downs. But what I found that I was missing was that I was missing time with my kids. I was missing out on, you know, them growing up. I was missing out on their milestones. I was missing out on events at schools because I was always working. And if I wasn't working, I was too tired and I was sleeping, you know, because my shifts, they're all over the place. Like I can be finishing at 5 a.m. or I can be working for like 2-3 days straight. You know, it just depends what's happening. And so I was looking for a way out of the police force, but really just finding a way where I could get my time back. I wanted to gain that time back so that I can spend that time with my kids and actually being a mom and being present and, you know, sharing in those memories and those adventures. And the first thing that I did was go and seek like some sort of traditional business. I thought if I could be in business and grow it from there, I could have my own hours and, you know, I'd be more happy and everything. But I just found that trying to start your own business is a whole other beast of work. And it just sucked the time out of me even more so, right? So for example, you know, in the morning, I'd get up, I'd get the kids ready for school, tidy up the house, and I'd go to work, okay? I'm a police officer, I do shift work. So I'd finish at 5 a.m. And then to work on my traditional business, I'd then go sit in a car park for an hour waiting for my BNI group to open up so that I could do my networking. And then after my networking, I'd go off and do all the meetings and everything, trying to promote my traditional business. Okay, there is zero sleep in that pattern. And when you're completely sleep deprived, you become not a very good parent. So that was not the best strategy. And it was a friend of mine that said to me, like, Tans, if you're looking for this goal, then why don't you just go find someone who has that and just do what they do, right? Go find someone who has what you want and then just do what they do. And it just seems so simple to me. I don't have friends that have what I want, so I didn't have anyone to follow. But I did a bit of research and I found Darla here. She is a mentor, she is a coach, she is now, you know, my best friend. And I reached out to her and I said, would you help me? And she reached out straight away. We had a chat and she said, Tanya, like everything that you want is just an arm's length away. And all you have to do is go and grab it. And we went through like a goal session, you know, like, what is it that you actually want? What is the dream here? And I said, look, Darla, what I really want is just to retire, like just to leave work completely and get my time back, but also be financially free. I said, you know, if I could have it my way, I would just pack up the family and go move to a mountain somewhere in Canada and just spend all my days with the kids and just probably snowboard all day long. And, you know, if we fast forward back, if we fast forward 12 months, that's exactly what happened. I retired in December. I moved the family to Canada. We live on a mountain in Sun Peaks, and all we do is hang out and snowboard in the winter. That's it. And Darla is going to explain how, you know, we did this together, how we made this happen through an academy, which teaches you how to be a trader, which teaches you how to invest. It teaches you how to take a small amount of money and then grow it exponentially so that you can make money whilst you're sleeping. Like I woke up this morning and made money. I ate lunch today and I made money. I hung out with my daughter at her school for half the day and I was making money. And that is what I want to share with you because it is not hard to do. It doesn't take a lot of time. But the outcome, the goal is totally worth it. So Darla, if you want to just jump in there and sort of share, you know, what it is that we've been working on.
I would love to. And Tanya, I just look at you and I just get tears in my eyes when I see your Facebook posts and all those. You're just for those that, is anybody on here somebody that's known you more than a year, like from your past? Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys don't even have to like know, you can see that this woman is a different person, like compared to who she used to be. And I'm going to back the story up a little bit more. So I'm also a life and business coach, and I teach people how to overcome the mental struggles that keep us stuck, that prevent us from believing in ourselves so that we can go out and be all that we want to be. And so Tanya actually reached out to me at first with that because she couldn't figure out why she couldn't get unprogrammed. And so we started working together with mindset. Okay. So to see her story now is like, wow, she just did it so easily. Well, she put a little bit of work into getting unprogrammed. Okay. Because we're also wired, pre-programmed by our parents and society. And usually by the time we're wanting to change, we're beat up, we're exhausted, we're tired, we're worn out, we're helpless, and we're hopeless. We're just at this place where we just don't know which way to turn because we've been trying so hard for so long. And she was just at that place. A lot of people are at that place. But I also will tell you, it's at that place where you finally take action on change, because people don't change when things are really great. I am at the happiest days of my life. Life is so good. I think I'm going to go change. You know, people don't do that. People change when episodes and incidences happen in their life, or when they finally realize, if I don't figure out how to do something different, I'm never going to retire. I'm going to be a burden to my children. I'm never going to see my kids. I'm never going to get out of this situation. I've got to figure something out. And that's when you have to reach out for help. You have to get help. And mentorship is so important, personal development and all that. So one thing that I also am is I'm a serial entrepreneur. I teach people how to build diversified streams of residual leveraged income and how to compound it and grow it into large amounts of money. And so through this process of moving Tanya through her journey came along this academy that I introduced her to. Okay, so the academy is where you learn to take the money that you have and grow it. Regardless if you're in a job and you have a small paycheck, or you're working at another network marketing company and it pays you. It doesn't matter what you do. It's where you can take $50. And this is Tanya's story. Tanya took $50 to $3,000 in her first month. And then a light went off and she believed. Okay. She was like, oh my gosh, this is bigger than I ever thought it could be. Then she started meeting people that had been in for longer than her, and meeting people who had taken $50 to $1 million, you know, turned 500 into 500,000, you know, just tons and tons of people. So let's split the wealth of money in the world. The majority of people work jobs, and the majority of people are struggling paycheck to paycheck. It's just the way it works. It's always worked this way since the beginning of time, because they're the laborers. They're the people who labor for the wealthy people. And so if you just look at the statistics of where all the money in the world comes from, more billionaires come from the world of anything that has to do with financial literacy, something that is not taught in school. Like, for example, Joy Kennel. Joy Kennel, wave your hand. Joy Kennel was an admin assistant at a trading, and I'm going to ad lib this and probably do it wrong, but when she was young, she was the admin at a place on Wall Street where the big traders worked, and she watched them make millions of dollars, but she was the admin assistant. She never knew really how they did it. They never taught her. She just knew that they made a lot of money, and she watched these people turn into millionaires, and she watched them come and go in their suits while she got their coffee or did their calls, right? And never realizing that I could be like that. Wow, today I get to learn how to be like that. And it boils down to what you've been taught. School systems are not where you learn how to become financially literate and learn how to become a stockbroker or a trader or anything like that. How to make millions and billions are taught by millionaires and billionaires. And so this academy is a school. It's like an online school, but the 180 something teachers are millionaires and taught by a billionaire trader. Okay. And so you're sitting in a classroom, the same classroom as Tanya. Tanya's not going to be the one to teach you how to trade. My husband's not going to be the one to teach you how to trade. They're in the same classrooms as a lot of these other people are, learning from the same people. But the knowledge that you get taught will change your family's lives forever. You will then be the one in your family that will become that can become, not will, because I can't force you to show up to class, but you will be empowered with the knowledge and the tools and the skills to become the first person in your family that's ever been able to make $1 million and change the generational cycle of your family. Because you guys, if I was Marilyn Monroe's niece or granddaughter, or you were Elvis Presley's cousin, we wouldn't even be on this call right now. I want you to think about that, because we would have been raised in the world of residual income and royalties. Something I was very fortunate to learn younger in life. That's all it is. I learned it younger in life, and I was able to capitalize on it. And I've been able to make, I'm a high school dropout, no college degree, severe dyslexic. I don't read and write and do that kind of stuff. If I can make millions of dollars over and over and over in traditional business and in non-traditional business and in network marketing and in any type of business, it's only because I was taught something that most people don't know. I had a mentor when I was young that instilled, a wealthy people, and they instilled some rules of life into me. Don't work for the boss, be the boss. So I never did. I worked for the boss for a few months and I studied him. I learned what I didn't like about what he did, and I learned what he did that made him successful, and I just did it myself and became better at it. And then I learned, don't work with your own two hands. If you work with your own two hands, you'll never be able to make money while you're holding your baby. You've got to get hands working for you or with you. And so then I became a business owner, and I became very successful in the salon industry. I had 49 employees, 16,000 clients. We were doing $3 million a year. And I was living in my $1 million dream home, driving, had all the cars, the Hummer, the boat, the plane, not the plane, the Hummer, the boat, the Mercedes, the BMW, the you name it, had it all. Because I was at the top of my box, I couldn't get any higher, and I didn't know how to get out of that box until my husband started with this academy just a little over a year ago. It has absolutely taken our life to a level that we never knew possible, but it was that upper level. So when we're kids, we learn about getting a job, Girl Scouts, paper route, whatever you do when you're babysitting, okay? And then you get that job and you go for management. Let's get a raise. I want to be a manager. I'm going to be an assistant manager. Oh yes, I'm going to be a general manager. Okay, I got a great job. I'm going to stay here for 40 years, maybe 45, you know? But some people don't like that, and they keep moving on, so they become self-employed. I'm going to be my own boss, like I did, be my own boss. And then I started doing hair and realizing I was just my own employee and I was never going to retire. Then I started building leverage. Then we learned how to create, oh, my computer's going to die. Then we learned how to create leverage. Okay, stay with me, people. I didn't realize my cord was out. We learned how to create leverage. And then so I'm 54 years old today. I was 52 and a half when I learned about compounding interest. So whatever age you are right now is when you're learning about compounding interest. This is how to take and do what the banks do with your money. And you all know what's happening in the world today. Our dollar's going like this as they can, well, I don't know about the rest of the world, but in the US, the dollar's going down, they're printing more money, money's turning into digital currency, things like crypto are coming on the scene. And it's only a matter of time before we're all forced into this way of money. I don't know if you believe that yet, but this is what's happening. Bitcoin ATM machines are all over the place here in San Diego. You can pay for restaurants, you can buy hotel rooms, you can do anything you want with crypto out here. My friend is visiting from Canada and she pays us in Bitcoin because she can't get her money out of Canada. So she just moves her Bitcoin over to my husband's Bitcoin wallet, just like that. If you look on Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, you've heard that Facebook is now going on the metaverse. What's the metaverse? You learn these things in here. NFTs, if you haven't heard of NFTs, now you're going to hear about them every day, because this is how fast the world of money is moving. And that every time something happens in the economy, the money just moves. It's still there. It just moves. Okay. Well, the money is all over here in this world of digital currency and the trend that's happening, that's giving these children of today the opportunity and the chance at life, because there isn't anything in the traditional world. There's not a job or a college degree or a business that a young 20-something-year-old can go do and make millions at in a few years. And this company is breaking record millionaires. And our daughter is going to be one. And I never in a million years thought that this would ever happen to us. And it was all because of COVID. COVID took away her scholarship, her sports, her academics. She sat in her room for her senior year. And that's when she learned to start trading with my husband. And now she's taking off. And it's the most refreshing thing. So how this academy works, you start by being a student. Okay. It's I'll tell you now, it's $175 a month. It's $175 a month for an education to make millions of dollars. Financial literacy, something your parents didn't teach you. And I know they didn't teach you because you wouldn't be on this Zoom had they have taught you. My mother and father didn't teach me. Okay. I didn't learn it till I was later in life, like I was telling you. So this academy is $175 a month to get educated by millionaire mentors for you to learn what it is that they do to make their millions of dollars. You learn from a demo account. You're at first, before you ever put any live money, they're trading on with you. You're doing what they do. They're telling you exactly what they do. This is the trade I'm going to take. If you want to take it too. And in that demo account, it's no different than if you're an Android user and I hand you an iPhone. You're like, how do I turn it on? How do you send a text? You know, I can't even figure out a droid if somebody put it in front of me, like seriously. And it won't even answer to Hey Siri because it doesn't have a Siri, you know, and uh-oh, hold on. No, Siri just went off. Go away. And so then you get used to it and comfortable. You start placing trades, taking trades. You get more confident. And then you fund a live account and you can do what Tanya did and start with $50. Tanya didn't have a lot of money when she started. So she started with $50. Some people start with $500. It really just depends on your financial situation. And then you start with 1% a day. 2%. You go up a little bit higher to 2%. As you get better, you go up to 3%. And if you guys will pull up a compounding calculator, actually Tanya has a video of it, compounding calculator, and you put $50 in a compounding calculator and you compound that by 3% over a year, it's hundreds of thousands of dollars. $500 to a year is $1 million. Okay. And you get the charts, the graphs, they teach you how to do it. It's a full-blown education that nobody can take away from you. You leave the academy when you're ready. You don't have to stay for years. You can stay for a couple months and learn how to do what you want and leave. It doesn't matter. It's up to you. But once you get the skill, you don't need the academy. You're empowered with the ability to make money for the rest of your life, no matter where you live, from your phone, on a beach, at a restaurant, while you're sleeping. And so our daughter every morning at 18 years old is sending us screenshots of how much money she made while she was asleep. It is the most amazing feeling as a mother to be able to know that your daughter has learned what you learned at 53, at 18. I know I'm going to be in silk diapers when I'm older. None of these cloth diapers for me. That's what I always say. So that's how the academy works. And that's why Tanya wanted to bring you guys here, because it's no longer, it's something you can't keep a secret. When you get to have this life of pure freedom, that you get to do what you want, when you want, where you want, how you want, and not have to ask a boss or wonder how much it costs, you can't help but tell it to everybody you know, because the world is suffering from financial cancer right now because of what's happening in our world. And so all it's doing is squeezing and shifting, squeezing and shifting, squeezing and shifting. Had the pandemic not have come, we wouldn't be on this call right now. None of us would be. We'd still be grinding it out in what we wanted to get out of. We'd still be doing the same thing we were doing a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. And so that's where a lot of these people have come from, that are grateful and blessed that this academy, that they were introduced to this academy and their results. And so that's why Tanya wanted me to come on and wanted to do this information session, to give you guys some inspiration and some knowledge and some empowerment and some advice from somebody who gives advice to a lot of people every day. And so if anybody has a question or would like to even make a comment or share a testimony, please open your mic and let's hear from you.
I know Tanya from being a police officer. And what can I say? I'm still a police officer. And I have been, for the last year or so, I have been wondering where to go from here. I'm non-operational at the moment because I've had a mental breakdown. I got to the point where after an incident, I crawled into the office and said, I can't do this anymore. I feel like her. I don't, my daughter has just graduated high school. She's 17, and I feel like I've missed out on most of her life, always being at work. And I've started, let's say, a spiritual journey last year, listening to coaches and the one thing that I learned from it is believe in yourself and don't worry about the how. Just believe that you're going to be able to get to where you want to be and have the life that you want to have. Don't worry about the how. And since then, Tanya has reached out to me with this twice. And last week I started to wonder, is this it? Is this the sign? Is this what the universe has sent to me, saying, look, there's this girl who you spoke to about going to Canada some, 7 years ago? We were joking. Well, I was joking about it. One of our friends was going, he's there now. And then she followed, and she did it. She did it. So this kind of, it's, I think, a beginning for me. So
Marcia, I want to share something with you. Whatever it is that you guys are hoping, wishing, or praying for, whatever it is comes to you. It's your faith that gets tested to see if you can see it. When I got started in this industry 13 years ago, I was losing everything from the 2008 crash. I was $3 million a year in my dream house, 100% debt free, and came the crash of 2008, and my clients cut back quickly on their expensive services. And I was on my knees praying to God to help me save my last salon and my last 25 employees. And I was at church and heard the story of the big flood. When there's a flood and they send a boat, plane, and helicopter, the guy says no to all of them. God's going to save me, dies, goes to heaven. And God says, or the guy says to God, why didn't you save me? He said, son, who do you think sent the boat, the plane, and the helicopter? That following Tuesday, I'm sitting at my desk. It's March 26th of 2008, the day that banks pull back the credit lines. I get a call from the bank. They're calling to tell me that they can't cover my payroll because I don't have a credit line now. And I'm just at my end of my rope. I've been crying and stressing for months and months and months, putting on the pretty face on the inside, crumbling apart in the backside. And I just said, what am I going to do? I look up in my monitors, kind of like this screen, into my lobby, and a local businessman who had been driving me crazy for 4 months to take a look at something was in my lobby. A guy I kept telling, no, I'm busy, I'm not interested, because I had a preconceived opinion of what it was that he was trying to show me. A little voice spoke to me and said, why won't you listen? That voice and that day changed my life forever. From that day to 3 years, we made our first $1 million back and climbed out of our hole. And I just said to God, if this is what you want me to do, I'm stepping out in blind faith, but you have to lead the way. And he did the whole time. And I've been able to climb mountains, and I've learned my biggest lesson. He answers our prayers all the time. And so does the universe, no matter what you believe in. Universal laws of attraction are real. You have to head off in a direction you've never been down before to get a result you've never had before. If you keep heading down the same path, you get the same path.
yeah, and that's exactly what I thought when Tanya reached out to me the second time, because she reached out to me before for the previous meeting, and I didn't participate. I was a little bit skeptical, to be honest. But then this time I was like, no, I see what her life is like. I mean, it's right there. And she came from the same background that I did. We both have kids. We are both in the same, we work together, and she's living the dream that we talked about. And I'm like, why are you skeptical? Why are you holding back? Why are you scared? So that's why I'm here today, because I am not scared anymore.
And that's where the personal development is going to have to come in. You've got to, this is what Tanya had to work on before she could believe in herself. Because when she came to me, she couldn't get to believe in herself. She was skeptical. She was fearful. She didn't understand, lack of knowledge, lack of belief, all of that. So this journey that you're going to go on may sound overwhelming and hard, but it will be the most rewarding journey of your life. I get chills every time I talk about it. And I've been doing this. I do this all day long because it just fills my soul, because I feel like I was given a gift. This is my gift. Here's your life. Now go bless others and teach them how to have it. And so just do it, and just grab onto her and say, okay, girlfriend, I'm trusting you, and you better not quit on me, and you better not let me quit on you. And go look in the mirror and say the same thing. Tell it to your kids. I remember when my child was little, I made a promise to her. I said, I will not quit on you. I'm going to do this for you. And I started making promises to the people that I wanted to be able to be with, right? Because I had to go figure it out. And it's a hard journey, you guys. It's not easy, because we're surrounded by people that don't believe in us and don't make millions of dollars normally. Now Tanya's like, I can't believe I spend my days talking with millionaires. I'm surrounded by people that believe in me. They lift me up. They encourage me. They inspire me. But when I started, I was surrounded by nobody that believed in me. That's the journey.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have any questions or anything?
I just wanted to just have a few words with Marcia, and I just wanted to say that I think you're really brave, and I'm really proud of you for jumping on and believing, because you know, you and I have kids, they're the same age, and you know, our oldest, we missed out on a lot of their lives. And I'm crying because you were making me cry, but I don't mean to. But I don't have to miss out on that anymore. And I'm not even going to talk. I'll just ruin it. Sorry.
Sorry, who's talking?
Go ahead, Sasha.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I just wanted to say hi to Amanda, who's put me onto the call today, who's also, I'm a police officer as well, so I know Marcia and I know Tanya, and Mel is there as well that I can see as well. So it's actually a bit of an old work reunion. So it's nice to see some familiar faces. And yeah, I've just been watching Amanda and Andre's story on Facebook. So they're obviously friends of mine for a long time. So it's just nice to see people who you know, like real people, not, you know, I mean, unfortunately, I don't know Darla, I don't know Jennifer, I don't know any of the other people sort of on the meeting. And again, it's one of those things of it does make it a bit hard to, I guess, relate to people when you kind of go, well, I don't know you, I don't know your situation. So yeah, I think it's just nice to, I guess, be introduced to something that is completely foreign to me. You know, finances are, you know, not my strong point, but I do them in my household, and you know, we get by, but I'm not going to say we don't do paycheck to paycheck. So it would be nice to have a little bit of you know, financial freedom. We've bought a new house a couple of years ago, and it needs a lot of renovations. So you can probably see behind me that I've got patches on the wall because we're trying to sort of get around to painting. So just little things like that would be really nice, just so that we can have that bit of financial freedom. And we've got another baby on the way in April. So surprise everyone. And, you know, so I'll be going on maternity leave and money will be really tight. So I think this is something that I really need to look into. And like sort of saying, if it is as easy as it sort of promises to be, well, yeah, it would be really good to get on board. So that's it.
Thank you so much for sharing your story. Congratulations on your baby. And let this be the baby you get to be a part of their life with. It really is worth it. It's so worth it. And just hold Tanya accountable. You know how you police officers are. Just threaten each other.
I didn't even know Tanya is in Canada, so that's really exciting in itself. And I'm assuming you follow Brad over there, and so yeah, it'll be a good catch up when everyone gets to Canada.
Thanks so much for jumping on, Sasha. And this is why we're so excited to spread the word. Call it a spiritual awakening, divine intervention, the laws of attraction, whatever it is. I feel like this is the answer. And we're so lucky to have Darla and Tanya leading the way. And it's not just the financial freedom, it's the emotional freedom.
I'm really, really, really happy for you. Like, I'm so happy for you guys. And you need to hurry up and leave soon, because the police force is going to start really catching on to you guys all leaving. Okay, you guys, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. And if anybody, you know, it's really simple. Just message the person that invited you on. Tell them if you either need more information or if you're ready to grow your wings and take a leap of faith and jump, and trust them. And all of you guys bond together, create a sisterhood. You're going to be involved. That's why Tanya's so happy, because she's surrounded by people that inspire, encourage, and believe. They pour their hearts into each other, because we're a family over here, because we're all helping each other to pull each other up. Right? We're all holding each other and pulling each other up, and saying, no, come on, show up, let's go, come on, where it just doesn't exist in a traditional business world. It just doesn't exist. And so get back with the person that invited you and let them know if you need more information or if you're ready to go, and start your journey, and just start it one step in front of the other, and it'll all fall into place. I promise you. It was great to meet you guys, and I look forward to seeing you all on the inside.
Thank you all for coming.